Chile Open torneos. Representando a Japón, saludamos a Sayaka y Kazumi Ishikawa. Y se medirán ante las representantes de India, Cuma Lesan y Patka. Árbitro del partido, el señor de Chile.
So the finals of the women's doubles here at the 2011 Chile Open about to get underway. The formalities complete. Stadium announcer has brought the teams to the table. Hirano Sayaka, Kasumi Ishikawa, matched up against the Indian pair of Shamini Kumaresan and Madhurika Patka. Much to the disappointment, of course, of the home fans, because it was Kumaresan and Patka who beat Berta Rodriguez and Paulina Vega dramatically in a 4-3 victory. It went to 11-9 in the 7th, so very, very close, so very tight in the end. But it was the Indians who were victorious, and they find themselves here in the final of the women's doubles. But it has to be said that the #1 seeds for this particular competition are Sayaka Hirano and Kasumi Ishikawa. Ishikawa, of course, is going to have to play a little bit later as well in the women's singles, matched up against Yun of Korea. But I think the Japanese will certainly be favorites for this. But there's, well, there's a lot to be unfolding, and we have had some surprises here in Santiago. It's been a great week of competition, and there you can see very, very nice smiley faces of the coach and of the Indian duo, who are in fact rushing to the airport right after this because they've got a plane to catch to get back to India for some other pressing engagements. But well, I'm really, really pleased to tell you that I have managed to secure the services of one of the great stars of South American table tennis. And in fact, if you were watching earlier today, you would have seen a fantastic performance by this young gentleman who's sitting right next to me at the moment. And over many, many years, he's caught the eye of so many people. Victory over Kong Louis Liwi in the 1996 World Cup, and also, of course, against Pearson, had brought him great fame. He was at that stage, I think, about 58 in the world rankings, but he upset all the form books and came through with brilliant, brilliant style to, in fact, ended up, playing in a club in Sweden as well during that time. But I'm delighted to say I've got Hugo Yama with me at the moment, and having just lost in the semi-final, big disappointment, but nevertheless a great tournament week for you, Hugo.
I'm very happy to be with you here. As you said, I was a little bit disappointed, but I lost to a very good player, this Chuan. Okay, I beat him last time in Beijing, but it was a good game and he deserved to win.
Well, that's great. Okay, well, I know that you're going to stay with me for a while now for the, hopefully for the rest of the afternoon. That's my ambition. I hope it's yours as well. But it's great to have you here, and you're going to give us the insight into some of the technical details of the sport, particularly over your many, many years in the sport, and of course the development aspect of South American table tennis as well. There's a lot going on around us, and people are really, really enjoying the sport generally in South America, aren't they? There's a lot of development.
Yeah, sure. Many countries are appearing many good players, also young players. It's been interesting maybe 5-10 years. I think many good players from South America can be in the maybe best 100 in the world.
Before we talk about the girls' match, and obviously that's the focus of our attention right now, can you tell me why and how you've managed to be at the top of your game for such a long period of time?
Well, that's because when I was 16, I went to Japan. I stayed there for 10 months for practice. And then after I came back to Brazil, then I've been selected for national team. So then I every year I went to Europe, to Asia, to practice and also to play against these good players. So I could get some very good rhythm to play against these guys. And then, as you told before, I could beat Colin Hui, Jorgen Persson, and this was important for me.
Okay, well, let's just focus our attention then on the two pairs in front of us. There's no doubt that Hirano and Ishikawa will be the favourites. Ishikawa on the left of screen as we're having a look at them now. And I guess that Kumaresan and Patka will be under a little bit of pressure here. What do you think? What's your view of the actual match?
Yeah, I think for sure Japan, it's favourite to win this game. But if India can play relax, not to thinking about winning, maybe they can be dangerous. But we'll see.
It was very interesting yesterday and last evening, in fact, when they were up against the crowd as well, the way that they kept their cool and came through at the end. I'm talking about the Indians now, of course. Right, well, everything is now set, ready. First of our finals this afternoon in Chile then. And the Olympic Entertainment Center, the host to the first of our Pro Tour finals, the women's doubles. Some quick exchanges there. We're going to see some very, very fast, because these guys both like to attack. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, sure. In Japan, Ishikawa has also good defense, so it'll be hard for India.
When you play doubles as well, although you lost in an earlier round,
Yes.
what are your fortes? What are you looking out for in terms of the weaknesses of the opposition? Where do you actually focus your attention?
I focus on the short balls. I think in doubles it's important to play good short balls, and then you have maybe after that you can have a good chance to attack this after these short balls.
Japan lose their first point there into the net of Ishikawa. It's a 4-1. Good intervention there. She comes across beautifully. And one of the great things about Ishikawa, we've watched her for several years now. She's only a youngster, of course, only 18 years old. But her speed and her balance is very, very impressive.
Very, very good, yes. And really good touch also.
Okay. Looking absolutely in dominant form at the moment in this opening game. It's 1-6. First time we see Hirano having problems. Of course, she's had problems because she's lost in the earlier round as well. They didn't expect that. Number 2 seed goes out to Yun. And again, not quite on a match. When she is in great form, there's no doubt at all that Hirano is a big force to be reckoned with, but she's just a little bit off form at the moment. Good rally for India. They fight here hard for 4-7. Touch that. Do you actually predetermine your shot before you're going to receive the service?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to tell your partner to say what I'm going to do in the receive. I think it's good. Then you can do your or he can also wait the next ball.
Oh yeah, that's better. That's exactly what we expect from Sayaka. She has got a very intimidating style. In fact, I remember a few years ago when she used to phase guys out at the service. Oh, yo, yo. The eyes, watch it. That's a good rally. Ultimately, it was Kumare San who put it wide, but that is the first game then at 11 points to 4. And immediately, without even catching up on us, without looking too far, Hirano and Ishikawa have taken the first game, and it was all very, very quick action. Table tennis at the Commonwealth Games in Delhi at the end of last year, and there was some real strength and depth both in the men's and the women's game. But they're going to have to work really hard against this duo of Hirano and Ishikawa. Patkar will be with the ball here. And immediately is destroyed by the left hand of Ishikawa. Quite a number of Japanese surnames in the Brazilian team. In fact, yours sounds as if it might have a little bit of a Japanese connection.
Yeah, sure.
You've got family in Japan still?
Yes, I do, but not. I don't see them too much.
Oh, well, that's really, really good follow-up there, because it was a flat bat. No big spin on this, but great angle, and then a super distribution there ultimately from Kumare-san. It's 2-1 in the second. Bit of a waste after putting together a very, very impressive. I think there might be a few little nerves here in this final there by the Indians. Japanese have been here and done it several times. It's good to see the Japanese here in the numbers, though, isn't it? I mean, it's great supporting an event like the Chile Open.
Yeah, sure. It's really nice to see them.
Yeah, there's a lot of errors being made on particularly on the fourth ball. Whenever it comes back, they're going too long. They're trying too hard to be so tight to the ball, to the corners. And at 6-2, 2-6 now, it will be Patkar with the serve again. Oh yeah, that's better. Down through the center, and a very good flashing backhand. Patkar, 2 backhands in a row, and that does the job. What are they going to do here to try to wrestle the initiative from the Japanese?
I think they must do like the point before, be more aggressive, more offensive. Otherwise, if they just put spin and spin, the Japanese are too much faster. But the problem here is, I think they are having many problems with the Japanese service. They cannot see the spin, back spin, no spin. Then it's hard when you play like this.
That's a great rally. Patkar comes to the rescue with a forehand down the middle. But very, very impressive. Great reaching there, and puts pressure on immediately. Ishikawa falling away. Didn't expect that one to come back. Ah, this is developing. Nice. Couple of good points there for India.
They are playing very much faster now. That's what they must do if they want to succeed.
Well, that's how they won in the semi-finals.
Yeah,
they
sure.
increase the pace, keep the pressure, and then they blow a point like that. Oh man, that's so annoying.
If you give 1 point like this, it's hard to win, no?
Yep, so that immediately again we're into a situation where it's game points aplenty. 5 game points here to the Japanese duo Hirano and Ishikawa. And it takes the pressure off. Once you get into this situation where you're so many points up, you can blow a few, but you've got money in the bank. That's the important thing.
Yeah, sure, this is important. Yeah.
Still got 3 game points. Oh, we like that. We like that. Absolutely superb exchanges. Fantastic eye. But look at Patkar. She kept her eye very close on the proceedings. Good point.
Very good point. Very clever from India.
And 3 points in a row. It means that there's still 2 game points left for Japan. They've got the service. Ishikawa will take it. And that's it. That is the game. It's 2 games to 0 in favor of Japan, but a much more competitive game there by the Indians.
Yeah, but I think the problem is the Ishikawa service. Most of the, maybe she served 4 times here, then she won 4 points. The Indian player, they cannot see the spin of the ball, and it's hard. And if you lose 4 points like this, they lost 11-8.
Yeah,
could be different.
Sure.
But India play much better now, much more aggressive on the table always.
Well, it's really good to have you here, and I'm delighted because you are a hero. In fact, I had yes, you are. Oh, yes, you are. I know one of the great doyens of table tennis, Ian Marshall, tells me that he absolutely has huge respect for what you've achieved in your life. Yeah, he says. In fact, he wrote that in the Brazilian Open magazine, a great article about you. Fantastic. Here we go, 4th game. She only needs one little invitation, a little knock knock. Here I go. Do you want to come in? Sure. Open the door. Here I come. Yeah. They are beginning to look beaten as well now, the Indians. They've just got to keep that positive perspective. You're not going to with that. Hirano down the line there, and she is bouncing and feeling good about life. I bet she wishes she could turn the clock back to the semi-final now because she's in great form. We'll talk about that one in a while when we get to the women's singles, but wow. First error on the backhand from the left-handed Ishikawa. But the great thing about table tennis, it's so intense, it's so minute in detail, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you've only got a millisecond to make up your mind, or it's reflex or whatever. I mean, your favorite shot, I've absolutely no doubt, is that drive down the line on the forehand side. It's a beauty.
Thanks.
Japan absolutely steamrollering this one. Yeah, and Patkar's backhand, it must be a favorite shot because she's played it with success on 1 or 2 occasions, but she's missed at least a dozen. It's 1-7 in the 4th. Ishikawa being a little bit generous here, but this one took her eye off it a little bit, I think. Well, and that return surely wasn't doing that much. It's 8-2, Ishikawa with the serve. Watch out. Oh, a little lucky. .38. It's strangely quiet inside this Olympic Entertainment Center in Santiago. Aha, well done. Yes, this time it was successful. And Patkar puts in that backhand for a 4-8. When it happens, when she gets it on target, it's a really good shot.
Really good shot.
But it's becoming a bit of a procession here, and at 9-4, 4-9 it is, with Kumaresan in service. And now at 10-4, and this is now match point in favor of the Japanese duo, Hirano and Ishikawa. Hirano serve. That's it, that is the match, and they are the champions here in Chile. Sayaka Hirano and Kasumi Ishikawa have taken the title without really breaking into much of a sweat there. They were accurate, they played their game, their part, their strategy to perfection. The Indian duo, although they fought hard and put a couple of good points in and made a big effort, all-round game was not good enough to match the Japanese. So the favorites go through and take the title here in Chile. They are now Pro Tour doubles champions in Santiago. Your summing up of that match then, I guess we could all say it was one way.
Yeah, just one way, and also I think it was very good for Ishikawa, for her confidence for her next match, for the singles finals.
That's a good point. They do look relaxed. They obviously enjoyed the experience, and they would have enjoyed the week in Santiago as much as you have, that's for sure.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you've been here a few times, I guess.
Yeah, I've been here many times. Also, this time I think was the best for the weather. Was not so cold. One time I came here was like 5 degrees, so it was very hard to play. But so this time here was very good.